So I am the sales director for Invictus Capital. Invictus Capital is domiciled both in South Africa, and our funds are domiciled in the Cayman Islands. We're a crypto-native asset manager. We really are a thought leader in the space, pioneering crypto investment funds since 2017. We launched the world's first tokenized Crypto 20 index fund, and it was also the world's first crypto investment fund. And later we went on to found the world's first crypto tokenized venture capital fund. One token gives you access to all the underlying venture capital projects. And we are shortly, in this quarter, going to become the world's first regulated crypto mutual fund. So Invictus has been pioneering the space since 2017. We have 18,000 investors from 150 countries, and our returns and performance over the last 4 years really speak for themselves.
And obviously you've gone from strength to strength during COVID. Please share with our audience your successes, your growth.
Sure. So COVID generated something very peculiar in the markets. Central banks around the world were forced to inject liquidity into markets in order to resurrect the market. What that did is it provided so much liquidity that there was a global hunt for yield. Asset prices shot up, yields compressed lower, and this made serious investors like institutional investors, family offices, really try and look for that additional alpha, that additional yield. And what they started to do is they started to, in a more in-depth way, focus on digital assets. This obviously supported our funds. We saw investors from all around the globe come in looking for digital assets, looking for those additional returns from someone where they really trusted. We had that track record. We were geared up to cater for the needs of institutional investors. And that perfect storm of COVID, which was a very unfortunate circumstance, but worked out well for digital assets. So not only digital assets perform incredibly well, but our funds outperform the benchmarks that we aim to do. I think what you also saw during this time is that some of the world's largest investment banks, the likes of JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, who from 2017 thought that digital assets were a fake and a scam, during the COVID crisis, they actually launched institutional sales suite to cater for their underlying clients, selling digital assets into their clients. They started digital assets and crypto trading desks within those banks. And those institutions gave it a new level of integrity. So during this COVID, very unfortunate set of COVID circumstances, digital assets continue to outperform. I think that this has now set the stage for continued outperformance with digital assets because institutions are here to stay.
And what are your next steps?
So our next steps is that we are seeing more and more institutions getting involved in digital assets. I come from investment banking background. I've spent most of my career at Barclays Capital in London. I have worked in investment finance for 20 years. And some of the largest clients around the world, the largest asset managers and largest hedge funds are starting to get involved in digital assets. That trajectory is going to continue. Digital assets are an alternative asset class. These alternative asset classes are born once in a generation. The last true alternative asset class that we saw was the gold market. Started in the 1970s, really. In the 1980s, it also experienced volatility, just as crypto experienced volatility. Now we see most institutions around the world involved in gold. The gold market cap is 13 trillion. The market cap of crypto assets is only 2 trillion. We still have a long way to go. So our next steps are really to cater for institutional investors. We are regulated. We're here for the serious players. We cater for retail investors. But our focus going forward with the launch of the institutional sales suite is to focus on the needs of the more discerning investors to generate alpha for the institutional investors.
And then finally, what were your thoughts of Sir Anthony's Dubai conference?
Yes. So this has been the most amazing conference to attend. In my days of investment banking, I've attended global market conferences, investment banking conferences all around the world. But this conference draws something very particular. It draws decision makers from the highest level from all around the world and allows you access to those decision makers. So Anthony is incredibly hospitable. I've had a discussion with him. He is incredibly inquisitive, incredibly informed. He is well versed in many, many topics, and he's clear he has some very solid relationships. It was an absolute pleasure to meet with him and to speak with him, and also to the quality of investors that this conference draws. I look forward to a long relationship with Sir Anthony and the Ritossa events, and I think that anybody should consider these events that is looking to meet serious investors that are family offices where you can ultimately reach the highest level of decision maker.